Welcome back to the channel. It has been a little bit of a break since the last video we did. I think we're going on like 3 weeks. I think that's the longest I've ever went probably without uploading a video in the last 2 years. Not even gonna get into it with you guys at all. You'll just have to wait. But today's video we're gonna go over to Derek's and we're gonna work on pulling a motor out, as you can see by the title of the video. Motor and his truck. You guys remember seeing his truck in a couple videos over the last summer. He put a P-pump swap in it, and he basically P-pumped the motor and did an upgraded charger and a bunch of other stuff. So it's a pretty fun truck, but he is ready to go to the next level, and he's going to be actually putting a common rail 5.9 into his second gen. So this is going to be really cool, and I just absolutely want to get some of this content recorded for you guys. We probably won't be able to get the entire process, but I want to go over there tonight and probably record a little bit. A special guest coming to get all of the P-pump stuff off of Derek's old engine, so it'll be cool to get to meet with him. So yeah, let's just dive right into it. I'll catch up with you guys over at Derek's. Boy, look at that moon. Looks like a little sun in the distance. We're here at Derek's now, and just kind of let him explain what's going on. So if you guys don't remember, he has the extended cab, short bed, P-pump 24 valve. I'll put some clips of it in now if you guys don't remember. But the other day, he went to get in it the other day and go to work, and it didn't drop a valve.
It turned out. It just spun a cam lobe. The used cam I got.
Right, so he pulled all of the P-pump stuff off of it. We actually have a special guest coming tonight, which you guys will get to see. But so everything's just laid out here. This is gonna go on a pretty cool truck. You guys will understand more here in a minute. But so what's the plan with the one here on the lift? So what are we gonna do here?
That motor is going in the red truck. We're gonna common rail swap it.
So this is a 03 Dodge?
Yeah, it's 03.
2003 Dodge, and he got it super cheap, just strictly for, I mean, basically what he paid for is just what the motor alone would cost generally, but he got it in a whole truck. So he's actually able to basically rob whatever parts he's gonna need out of this and put them into the second gen. I don't know what his plans are now, if he plans on trying to use the dash or, I mean.
I don't really know yet. We're just gonna get the motor out and build it. We're gonna shoot for around at least 1,000 horse.
1,000 horsepower. It's already got a built trans in it, so you'll probably just have to, depend on what you do wiring wise, you may have to use this case, but you already have all the hard parts.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the same tranny probably, but I'm gonna probably go to the full manual valve body.
Full manual, so that right there deletes those questionable, basically, it's just a lot of stuff to make work. I mean, this is a common rail, it's a common rail truck, and it's going in his P-pumped, which it was a VP truck, and it's just a ton of stuff to make work. It's gonna bolt in essentially, but just the wiring, I mean, you gotta make it run, you gotta make it run right, and he wants everything to still function. So that.
I still wanna have AC, heat, and just want to be able to get it, fire up, take it out on the weekends and go play, you know.
Right, just I mean, basically fully functional.
Yeah.
1,000 horsepower is gonna be plenty in that though.
I'm shooting for that.
And going with the common rail platform, it's, I mean, to make 1,000 on a VP or P-pump, you're spending tons of money and time.
Yeah.
With this thing, it's not going to take much, man. Just some injectors and a turbo setup and a good fuel setup.
Yeah, I'm thinking about 12 mil pump and 200% over injectors and.
Like single turbo or maybe compounds.
I'm gonna run the old S369 I had there for a while. Probably won't make a bunch, but just get it tuned in. I mean,
just to get it running and stuff. Save you a lot of money to already have a turbo to put on it.
But we'll eventually go to S400 series turbo.
Right. So it looks like you're already pulling the trans out of it right now.
Yeah, just started pulling the trans and T-case.
A lot of good parts that are going to be left over on this, guys. Lots of good parts.
Get a hold of me.
Yeah,
they're all for sale besides the motor.
Besides the motor and whatever wiring he needs, I mean, all this stuff's going to be for sale. Looks like there's a good rear end in it.
Yeah, the truck ran and drove. It just had a bad fuel pump.
So lots and lots of good parts here. Disc brake rear end, obviously. The frame looks like it's in pretty good shape too. These frames are usually bad about rusting, so he'll have a good crew cab long bed frame as well. But so yeah.
I'll let down, you can take more pictures and videos of it if you want to.
Right. But for now, I think he's going to try, and we're going to get the transmission pulled out, and then have to lower it down and start working on taking the front of it off.
He said it pulls all right, but he just got a 2020 Duramax, and pulling, he said it pulls it way better. He said it walked with the ones with the tune on it.
It's crazy, dude. It's just like, but I, you know, again, I'm not totally biased. I think they're all freaking sweet.
You're not totally biased, so that's why you're finally stepping into building a Cummins, huh?
Well, so
because everyone that knows, obviously on my channel, knows that you're a big Duramax guy. So
okay, all right. So first of all, let me throw this at you really quick. So people are like, oh, you're TruckMaster. You should know everything about trucks. No, that's not true. TruckMaster actually is a position in the military, and that's why I call myself TruckMaster. When I got out of the Army, the senior ranking NCO or sergeant in the motor pool, and you guys are in the Army, you guys know what I'm talking about. They're the bigwigs. They're called TruckMaster. Everybody calls them Truck. Well, that was a position that I held while I was in the military. So it's more of a handle that I use, and I decided to incorporate it into my channel.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, look at me, I'm TruckMaster. No, that was actually a military handle. That's why I use it. I should explain that more to the viewers.
No, that's cool, man. I had no idea. I thought you just thought you were the TruckMaster.
Yeah.
But so TruckMaster actually, Josh, stopped by tonight to pick up the P-pump swap off of Derek's truck, which we just talked a lot about it in his video, so go check out his video if you want to know more of the details. But Derek is common rail swapping his truck, taking the motor out of this one, putting it in his second gen.
Sure,
so
stuff on that here soon.
yeah, there's gonna be a lot more stuff on that as well. Yeah,
I bet I'll sell it for $20.
Oh man, that's a deal.
$20 bed.
$20 bucks.
$20 in a Big Mac.
I'll take 2 Big Macs, me half. We'll load up the rack.
You know what? I'm gonna get Happy Meal while I'm at it.
So yeah, Derek's setting them up with lines, P-pump off of the Fummins. You guys remember my Fummins from the start of the channel. GNR tappet cover. So he's actually completely restoring a second gen. He just did the Victory Max, which is pretty much amazing, to be honest with you, seeing you take that truck from absolutely nothing at all, $1,000 junkyard truck, and just completely restore it and make someone's probably make their year and make part of their life by letting them win that. So that was really cool. And I mean, I don't know what your plan is for all this and once that truck's done, but I'm sure you'll do something cool with it as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do a giveaway with this truck. I think I'm gonna keep it in the family. It's more of a military thing and it's kind of sentimental. It'd be really hard to get rid of this second gen. I just couldn't see myself parting with it.
But yeah, guys, so just as we were, like I said, pulling the motor and stuff, getting ready to pull the motor out of Derek's donor, it was just really cool for TruckMaster to drive down to see us, man. Such short notice. I just hit him up today and he's like, man, I'm still looking for P-pump stuff. And I was like, well, you know, all right, maybe you brought it up that at that marketplace. And I was like, well, that's Derek's stuff. So he was able to just shoot down here. I don't know, what is a 6-hour drive for you?
That's only 4.
4? That's not so bad. But he's able to pick all this stuff up, and like I said, guys, we were at Derek's shop. This is Killer Diesel. I know I haven't really recorded a lot here, but this is actually where Bailey is working now, my younger brother. So he's working with them full time, and they have a lot going on. So a lot of cool stuff to put into one video. What? Just lower her down a little bit.
Lower down?
Yeah, lower her down. I don't know where your lowering thing is.
You pull back a little bit further.
It's not shaking.
There you go.
Oh, watch your hand.
Watch it. There you go.
What'd you guys do? Adjust that? Did you adjust that valve?
Sometimes it's way worse.
Alright guys, transmission is now out. Look at that torque converter, that thing is rusty. Smoke subsiding. Kind of been my main priority right now. bed. I'm gonna just throw it in the bed. Need a pry bar to stick down in there. Where's your pry bar at? Knock it loose. All right, guys, the motor is finally out. We struggled a little bit to get this thing out. Derek's gonna have to start ripping all this stuff off of here to be able to transfer over to his truck, but the motor is out, so he can get that put on a stand.
Bud.
I'm honestly surprised you guys were able to move that easy.
Should be good enough, right?
Yep. Joe. Alright guys, it's now the next day. We stayed up pretty late last night. I don't think I had left here till like midnight, but we just got 1:30. We just got all the chains and stuff pulled off of it. So Derek's plan right now with this motor is we're gonna tear it down. He already has bearings, he thinks, for it. I think the 06 bearings are the same, as long as this motor's never had the crankshaft ground or anything. And then he's gonna have to order rings, but for today, we're just gonna get everything tore down off of it so he can get a list together and see what all he needs to order.
Gotta get the head to the machine shop.
Gotta get the head to the machine shop Monday. So yeah, we're just gonna start tearing this thing down. We gotta pull the intake off, valve cover, ECM, engine harness, all the stuff off the front, turbo, manifold. We'll probably just pull all that off as one. Motor mount, and yeah, just kind of get this thing tore down and be able to start getting it ready for his rebuild. So it's pretty good content for you guys. I wanted to put this on here. You guys have always been asking for an engine rebuild, so here you go. We're gonna do a rebuild on this thing.
You have to pull it out of that hole. You hear me? Okay, well I'm not gonna hear you and anything, I'll hang your phone up.
Fuel system's all loose. We're gonna try to pull this whole thing off in one piece. The fuel line's unconnected here, the high pressure line to the rail, everything.
Yeah.
Derek does not have piston rings yet, so rather than taking all this apart and having parts scattered, he's gonna leave it like this, but we will likely come back and then just so he's gonna leave the main bearings in it and just do rod bearings and piston rings.
Yep, hopefully by next week we can go back with it. Put rings and bearings in it.
Be able to start putting it back together, the head. He's gonna send the head to the machine shop Monday and get it ported and polished with either a fire ring or an O-ring. I don't really know if you decided yet.
I haven't decided yet.
Just depends. But got the CP3 pump pulled off of it, water pump, motor mounts, power steering pump, harmonic balancer. That was a pain to get the harmonic balancer off. There was just a bunch of rust. These are key weights, you can't spin them on there. And it was really hard to get it over that, but the cylinders look really, really clean. They're in really good shape. It was questionable to even do the rings and the rod bearings, but while we're here, I kind of suggested, and
said, whatever, we got them, let's do it. I got
Might as well. You already got the rod bearings. You might as well just change them real quick. Just because if you stuck it in, then you'd have to end frame it if it started knocking or something.
We ain't doing that.
Yeah, and with it being clean like this, you know, it's not like he's gonna have to get a board or anything. He'll just be able to run a dingleberry hone through it, set the ring gap, and then make sure the bearings check out, plastic gauge them, and it'll be able to go together. There's a ton of rust on this thing. I kind of started scraping down on the driver's side. I got most of it off of here, so I'll have to go through with a wire wheel and wire wheel this block up really good. Then put a coat of paint on it, put a new oil pan on it, and just pretty much at that point start putting it back together. Pistons all look like they're in good shape. No cracks or anything, no gouges at all. Every cylinder wall is really clean. It still has cross hatching in it. So, looks good.
Truck had 300,000 miles on it, so we'll see.
Hey, that's not bad for 300,000, but we could definitely tell that this motor had been out for some reason, so it might not even be the original motor.
We check cross hatching. I mean, that's good. But my motor with 550,000 has the same cross hatching. I mean, it's
Yeah, it really just depends how they're taken care of, and if they ever get really hot when people are towing. I mean, that's generally when it happens. People are going up steep grades and get the EGTs up really high. That's when you really start to tear this stuff up. But this thing definitely looks like it's been taken care of, so it'll be a good platform for him to build off of. All the injectors, well, here's all the fuel stuff. We pulled it all off in one piece. All that's gonna have to be replaced. It's just too rusty to even chance it. But the injectors look good, so he's gonna put 200 overs in it, and kind of still debating on going with a single CP3 or twin setup.
It's really kind of whatever's cheaper.
Whatever's cheaper, because I mean, really, you can just put 2 stock CP3s on it. You could find a used kit on Facebook Marketplace, probably pretty cheap, but if you buy a single, you're gonna have to spend like, I don't know, 1,700 bucks, I think they are.
Maybe I can find some used injectors and a bigger CP3 or the dual CP3
You keep
kit.
look out on that Firepunk page, you probably will. People are always selling good stuff.
Yeah.
So who knows, but it is an 03, so there'll have to be injectors for an 03, or I can't remember what they are. The 03 to 05 is just a bunch of bull crap, really. So we were talking with TruckMaster last night, obviously you guys seen, and I think we might have a little bit of a challenge going on, maybe
Maybe me, him, and Mason.
at the dirt drags
Getting thrown down.
in Van Wert, Ohio. I think it's in September, I can't remember,
I think it's the 9th.
September 9th or
I
11th.
think.
Of 2021, this coming year, or this year. There's a dirt drag, and last year we went and he had a ton of fun. He was riding with Mason, and he's actually building that truck now, so who knows, maybe we'll have a little friendly competition going on, stacking up Derek's common rail versus TruckMaster's.
Well, if not, we know there's going to be a competition between me and Mason.
There's going to be a competition either way on the dirt drags, and the dirt drags were a ton of fun, and it's something different. You know, I don't know how many videos I put up going to the drag strip, but the dirt drags, we've only done that a couple times, and that was a really good turnout. So we get this thing all buttoned up. We're gonna have some pretty cool trucks to bring out there this year. So we got about 9 months.
9 months.
9 months. Hopefully we can, man. I really hope so.
I think it'll be good.
I think it will too. That's plenty of time for what you're doing. All right, guys, and that is pretty much gonna wrap it up. So if you guys like the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of Derek's build he has going on. I'm gonna do my absolute best to get over here, record as much of this as I absolutely can, because I want to get a lot of this on the channel. This is really good content, and I want to be able to get as much of it as I can for you guys, but I also don't want to go extremely slow in the process and just drag it out. I just want to get a lot done in every video on this thing. But yeah, we also have, like I said, guys, I know we haven't been putting a lot of videos out lately, and you probably won't see another video after this for a while, unless we come out here next weekend to do some more stuff on this. But we just have a lot of stuff going on around in the background, and I'll touch base with you guys when it's done, as long as everything works out, and you'll understand. But that's gonna wrap it up. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.